So here we go, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Meet the Oppo, the series where I get the lowdown on Town's next opponent, which of course is MK Dons away in League One. Town, of course, looking and needing to get another win after this weekend. I'm joined by Jonathan to get the lowdown on MK. Thanks for joining, my friend. How's things?
Yeah, personally very good. I can't say the same for MK Dons unfortunately. So yeah, it's all good apart from football, really.
Yeah, that is the sort of next question, really, is the current mood between MK Don fans and just last year was pretty good, playoffs. Liam Manning, his first job, a really big job. And yeah, this year he's gone. Mark Jackson's in now. You're sitting in 22nd. What's gone wrong, my friend?
Well, last season was just one of those seasons that you, as a fan, sort of regret not going up with the squad that we had. I mean, we obviously had the League One Player of the Season, Scott Twine, who's moved on to Burnley, and I think all of the players that have left for apart from Jamie Cummins, obviously come back, but all the players that have either sold or left on loan are now applying their trades in the Championship. So it just shows you what quality of squad we actually had at our disposal. And to be honest, in the summer, we really did not replace them with any genuine quality. It was more about developing the youngsters and signing sort of two unknown Irish lads, and um, it's just it just didn't happen over the summer. I think a lot of credit for last season has to go to Russell Martin. It was his squad that was built before Liam Manning took over, just before the start of the season. Um, and yeah, it just the summer completely wiped us out, I'm afraid. And unfortunately, Liam Manning lost his job just before Christmas.
Yes, Mark Jackson is your new boss. What's the thoughts on that? Of course, under 23s manager at Leeds comes in his first, you know, proper senior job. What's the sort of reaction on that? And he's not done so great in his first 11 games in charge. 3 wins, 2 draws, 6 defeats. What's the current mood with him?
I think a lot of fans are feeling sympathetic towards him. I think we have improved attacking wise since he's come in. We've it's defensively we're still really poor, conceding really poor goals all the time. But going forward, we seem so much better, particularly the front three, which we'll sure we'll get onto at some point. Um, and it's again another gamble by Pete Winkelman and another rookie manager, like he did with Liam Manning, like he did with Carl Robinson, like he did with Russell Martin. And it seems to be what is classed as the MK way, as it were, um, developing managers and players and helping them like step up the ladder. And I do like him, and he's very honest and he's very sort of passionate. He's sort of reminds me a lot of Carl Robinson in many ways, but I just think that he hasn't got the obviously hasn't got the quality of player to show um, his capabilities. He did improve us in January, and I think this summer, if he gets a full summer, then I think we will see the real Matt Jackson side.
Definitely. The last 2 games, then, Jonathan, have not been great. Conceded 5 goals in both. Of course, the 5-2 at Sheffield Wednesday, the 5-0 at Bolton. Although, against Sheffield Wednesday, I think Town fans will think, oh, MK doing really well. 1-0 up, then went 1-1, then it went 2-1. And at half time, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, they're going to nick some points off Wednesday. But unfortunately, not. Um, what happened there and just the overall last few weeks, not great results. And the home form isn't good either.
No, home form's not been good all season. We've got the worst home record in League One, and it's not just losing to the Plymouths and the Peterboroughs and teams like that. It's losing to teams with no disrespect, like Fleetwood, drawing with Accrington, losing to Shrewsbury when we completely dominated them, and things like that. And it just seems that I don't know if it's the pitch because it's not the best. I know Serena Wegman criticised it when the ladies played there last week actually, um, and that was supposedly a brand new pitch all brought in from Lincolnshire and it was going to be fine. And it's just really honestly it's really depressing going to Stadium MK sort of knowing that we're really struggling at home, and obviously with your fan base we're probably going to be outnumbered by you
Yeah.
guys, I can imagine, and it's just not a very good place to be at Stadium MK at the moment.
No, I'm sorry to bring up the stats here. Yeah, it's not great. 2 wins, 4 draws, and 10 defeats, which is not good. Let's talk then about, and as you mentioned, the team itself. I'm going to bring up the last 11 against Sheffield Wednesday, of course, in that 5-2 defeat. A few names I'm sure town fans will know. Bradley Johnson is the one because of the former Norwich connection, and I think a lot of town fans didn't like him as a player because he used to score against us, and he's actually not a bad player and he's an experienced player. But how has he been, and any other players we should look out for this weekend?
Well, until recently, Bradley Johnson was actually our top scorer for the season, which was quite surprising considering he's been in and out the side with obviously first Liam Manning and now Mark Jackson. He was brought in to bolster the experience of midfield, and you either get the good Bradley Johnson that can score a free kick and run a game, or you get the bad Bradley Johnson that's conceded. I think I worked out 6 of our 10 penalties that we've conceded have been down to Bradley Johnson. So yeah, you can. He's like a Jekyll and Hyde Marmite sort of player. It depends which fan you ask about. Jamie Cumming, really good goalkeeper, just being unfortunate with the defenders in front of him. Jack Tucker came with a good reputation from Gillingham, was meant to be the Harry Darling replacement. Hasn't quite happened for him. I think he's still adjusting to the way we play out from the back. No disrespect to Gillingham, but obviously the football's completely different. We haven't been helped in injuries on centre back. So currently we have Warren O'Hora out for the season. Dean Lewington is out. Definitely for this game. And Anthony Stewart, who we signed on deadline day to bolster the defence, he got injured on his first training session. So you can imagine the luck we've been having. Midfield, I think our midfield has improved since Paris Magoma's come in. Josh McEachran needs someone that can sort of bully players and get in their faces. He worked really well last season with Connor Coventry and Matt O'Reilly. I think last season when we came to your place, I think O'Reilly was a real big part in that a good result that we got there. Obviously, he moved on to Celtic, and I'd probably say the front three of Kai, Lecco, and Isa are the ones that are giving the fans hope that we could survive this season. They've scored or contributed towards our last 6 league goals, I believe. You've probably seen Lecco's goal from the weekend against Sheffield Wednesday. Great individual goal. Mo's starting to get a couple of goals now and really involved in the play. And Sully Kaikai has really surprised me in how good he actually is. So yeah, those are probably the 3 that I'd look out for. And I wouldn't say anyone from the bench, possibly apart from Ethan Robson, might be one to watch in midfield. He was really good for us last season as well for the first 6 months. So yeah, that's probably the only positives that I can give myself at the moment.
Okay, then. Well, let's talk about the game itself then, Jonathan.
Yeah.
22nd versus 3rd in League One. What sort of game should we expect from MK side with Mark Jackson in charge? You said he's improved maybe the attacking threat because you're scoring a few goals, but you're still conceding. What sort of game should we expect?
I'm expecting Ipswich to have the majority of the possession, and we seem to perform better with teams that have more possession. Our counter attacks are really improved since Jackson's come in. Jack Tucker always has a mistake in him in the game. He can have a brilliant 89 minutes where he looks one of the best defenders in the league, and then one mistake like last week, he let a ball go over his head that wasn't getting back to Jamie Cumming, and Windass pounced and equalised. I'm expecting Sam Morsey to probably dominate midfield. I can't really see Magoma with his inexperience getting much joy out of Morsey if he's available. And up top, well, I don't know what to say up top. I mean, Nathan Broadhead, Marcus Harness, Freddie Ladapo always scores against us, so
Yeah.
I'm sure McKenna's probably on that as well. Obviously, Wes Burns as well. He's quality player. How he missed out on the Wales squad for the World Cup, yet Matt Smith got picked. I'm still not quite sure, to be honest. And defensively, you're just solid. I mean, Leif Davis is just ridiculous for this level, and I'm not really looking forward to be honest, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, that's my next question is like how you're feeling ahead of this game. You know, it's gonna be just under 7,000 Town fans in that away end, so the atmosphere is gonna be great. And last year it was a goalless draw, so they weren't able to celebrate goals, but it could be very different. So as you said, you name checked a lot of Town players there. Yeah, you're not looking forward to it then?
Nope. Last two games we've conceded 5 in both. Defensively look shaky. Set pieces look really shaky. If we can keep it down to 3, then that for me will be a success, quite honestly. The pitch might be a leveler. I'm not quite sure how Ipswich play on slightly worse pitches, to be honest. But I'm honestly just expecting you guys to win. And I think a lot of fans are just saying this as a free hit. If we get anything, bit like Sheffield Wednesday, bit like Bolton, if we get anything, it's a bonus. It's all about March for us, where we've got teams around us that we play. Got to go to Accrington, Cambridge at home, Morecambe at home. So March is the massive month for us, really. And we're just damage limitation on Saturday, I'm afraid. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah, because the last time we met earlier in the season was a 3-0 win, and that was, you're a shadow of yourself then, and that was still when Liam Manning was in charge. Well, Jonathan, it's been a pleasure. Any other business, any other notes you want to mention? As you said, if you MK could just keep it down to 3-0, I'm sure Town fans will be hoping to get a big win because we just need to keep that run going. But yeah, any other business, my friend?
No, not really. I'd just like to wish Ipswich all the best for the season after Saturday. I know they've sort of dropped off and sort of picked up recently, and I still think it's a 3-way race to the first, like the automatic promotion. But yeah, good luck for the rest of the season, and thank you for having me on.
Top man, top man. Actually, one more final question, if that's okay. Actually, do you
Yeah.
think MK can stay up? Do you think you've got enough? You said the firepower. Hopefully, they can keep you up.
I think there's 3 worse teams than us. I'm not quite sure there's 4.
Yeah,
That's my theory. I mean, there's teams around us that have got games in hand, but I'd rather have the points on the board. To be honest, I know Accrington have got a lot of Tuesday, Saturday weeks coming up with their small squad. It's going to be, can we pick up the results in March to maybe get a bit of a buffer? Like I said, I still think there's 3 worse teams than us. I'm not quite sure there's 4. So 50-50 on that.
Okay, then we shall wait and see. Well, Jonathan, thanks for joining me. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're going to the game, enjoy. If you're not, follow the game with us, and we'll see you next time with the Meet the Oppo series. Bye bye for now.